Game of Thrones Episode 1 was released on December 2nd of 2014. It was developed and published by Telltale Games. The game shares the same engine as all the other adventure games produced by Telltale. The game shares the same gameplay traits from Tales from the Borderlands and Wolf Among Us, in that it's more of a choose-your-own-story game rather than having gameplay that's more based around puzzle solving like Walking Dead or Back to the Future the game. The game takes place outside of the main plot of the Game of Thrones TV show near the end of Season 3. I wouldn't even recommend checking this game out unless you've watched all the episodes up until the end of the third season of the show. The plot focuses on a house that hasn't been seen in the show yet called House Forrester, who are from Ironrath, which is a fortress in the north of Westeros. The game's plot is centered on three main characters that you control through various parts of the world, coping with how the Red Wedding has affected House Forrester. The game's storyline is great and allows you to interact with some of the main characters from the show like Cersei Lannister and Tyrion Lannister. The game for the most part manages to hold the tension and life and death nature of your decisions that the show is known for, although it does have a bit of a slow start. The first 10 minutes of the game are probably the most boring in the game despite being action-filled. Overall, the plot is pretty good, and if you're into the show, it's definitely worth playing. The gameplay is exactly what you'd expect from a Telltale game. You pick what you want your character to say throughout the game, and it's viewed more like a movie than a game. There really isn't much gameplay to speak of, or tweaks to the gameplay that haven't been seen in previous Telltale titles. Graphically, the Game of Thrones game looks bad. While the Telltale engine lends itself well to the cartoony look of Borderlands or the comic book style of Wolf Among Us, having the more realistic look of Game of Thrones doesn't look good. The game has a watercolor filter over everything, which sometimes will go past the character models and cause a really weird look to things. The audio in this game is great. Many of the original actors from the TV show were used as voice actors for the game, which makes it feel more like the show. The music, while not really memorable, does suit the mood of each scene and is by no means bad. Overall, if you're into the Game of Thrones TV show, there's a good chance you'll enjoy this game. Comparatively to The Wolf Among Us and Tales from the Borderlands, this game really isn't as good. It's good, but it's not great, and it's hard to compete with its own source material, but it's worth checking out if you've seen the show. I absolutely wouldn't recommend this game to anyone who hasn't seen the show though.